One thing I love just as much as the Goosebumps books are the TV episodes. I can remember growing up and watching them with my cousin late at night. Sometimes I'd get so scared that I couldn't fall asleep. There's a total of 74 episodes and they are all filmed in Canada. Warning, there will be some spoilers and this list is my opinion. It's not based on any facts. Have you ever wondered what would happen if your toys came to life? Go watch Indian Cupboard to find out. Trilogy takes a similar direction, but instead of a magic cupboard, it's a magic model town that sucks people in and tries to make them plastic figurines. This episode is 3 parts long, which makes it the longest Goosebumps episode, and it's not based on any Goosebumps book. It's an original. The creepy little town is named Carlsville, and its mayor is named Carl. Carl and the townspeople are all plastic figurines that come to life, and they're trying to grow their population. It's not something that gave me goosebumps, but the idea and the execution are great. I really hope to see a trilogy-like TV show or movie in the future. If you guys know any, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Who doesn't love trick-or-treating? Free candy and scary costumes? It's fun because it's not real, but what if those kids under the masks weren't kids at all, but human-eating monsters? Would you like Halloween still? If you're a kid, have no fear. These monsters only eat adults. The episode follows Drew, Walker, Lee, and Tabby. Drew and Walker are playing a prank on Lee and Tabby for the prank they pulled the previous year. Drew's plan involves 2 creepy pumpkin heads tormenting Lee and Walker. How sweet will their revenge be? The reveal of the pumpkin heads is hilarious. They look like sock puppets wearing garbage bags. Overall, this was a great episode. I love the Halloween setting, and I remember when I was a kid they played this episode every Halloween, and every single time I enjoyed it. Scarecrows are meant to scare off animals, not scare off its owners. Jody and Mark are visiting their grandparents' farm, but things are a little different this year. The crops aren't doing so good, and their grandparents seem overworked and stressed out. Could this be just a bad season, or is this something out of this world like magic? If you guessed magic, you're right. This episode is one that really scared me to death as a kid. Something about scarecrows is really creepy, and this episode still holds up to this day, even though it came out 20 years ago. Here's a little fun fact. The book is named The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, and the episode is named Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. They took out the. There's something horrible happening in Fever Swamp. Something really horrible. It started with the strange howling at night, and then there was the rabbit, torn to shreds. Everyone thinks Grady's new dog is the one responsible. After all, he looks just like a wolf. He seems a little on the wild side, but Grady knows he's just a regular old dog. And most dogs don't howl at the moon, or disappear at midnight, or change into terrifying creatures when the moon is full. Or do they? The Werewolf at Fever Swamp is a great episode, and it made it onto my top 10 favorite list because it's extremely suspenseful. Throughout the whole book, you're unsure of who the real werewolf is. Is it his parents? Is it his dog? Is it the creepy old guy that lives in the middle of the woods? You never really know until the end of the book, and it keeps you on your toes and it makes you want to watch the rest. And the book is also great, so you should watch and read both if you haven't. Good old Horrorland. This episode is based off the book, and this book got many kids into Goosebumps. It's the best-selling Goosebumps book ever. I think we all wish deep down inside that Horrorland was real. This episode is very, very different from the books. This episode is missing many things like a main character named Clay, the famous Doomslide, and the Bat Barn. There's also no game show in the book. This episode does a complete 180 when you compare it to the book. The ending is crazy. The whole episode is revealed to be a show that 2 elderly horrors are watching, complaining that human shows are scary. It's a crazy. Horrorland is a great episode overall, even though it's missing the Doomslide, and Goosebumps just wouldn't be the same without Horrorland. Brian's parents are very unhappy with him, so they send him away to boarding school, the perfect school. Brian's very reluctant to go, but he's forced to go anyways. He thinks it's just a normal school until weird things start to happen. They take away all his possessions, his friends start acting perfect, and he finds a laboratory with a clone of himself. The Perfect School was based off a short story from Even More Tales to Give You Goosebumps. There's a few differences between the book and the episode. In the episode, there are human clones. In the book, it's robot clones that look like human. It's kind of like a Fallout 4 style sense. And at the end of the TV show, Brian escapes and he's planning on saving the other kids. He didn't do this in the short story. I really enjoyed the story because I went to a private school when I was young and it kind of reminded me of the perfect school. And Brian is a really cool character. Out of all the Goosebumps characters, I think Brian is one of the best next to Billy from Welcome to Camp Nightmare. Amanda and Josh think the old house they just moved into is weird, spooky, and possibly haunted, and the town of Dark Falls is pretty strange too, but their parents don't believe him. You'll get used to it, they say. Go out and make some new friends. So Amanda and Josh do, but these new friends aren't exactly what their parents had in mind, because they want to be friends. Forever. Welcome to Dead House is a classic. It's the first Goosebumps book ever written. R.L. Stine appears in the episode too. The episode is very different from the book and I won't be explaining everything because it's a lot. The two main things are the house is very different from what the book describes and there's a magical reef in the episode that does not show up in the book. There's a little fun fact, this is the only Goosebumps book to feature zombies. And the reason why I like this episode is because Welcome to Dead House is one of my favorite books. It's a pretty simple read. Amy's ventriloquist dummy Dennis keeps losing his head. For real. So Amy begs her family for a new dummy. That's when her dad finds Slappy in a local pawn shop. Slappy's kind of ugly, but Amy's having fun practicing her new routine. Then terrible things start to happen. Horrible, nasty things, just like what happened the first time, because there's something odd about Slappy, something not quite right, something evil. Do you know what Slappy's famous words are? Who you callin' dummy? Dummy. Slappy has become the mascot for Goosebumps, replacing Curly because he is so popular. Night of the Living Dummy is like Chucky for kids. Slappy is one of the best monsters in the Goosebumps universe and I love this episode because of Slappy. And who doesn't love Slappy? How ugly is Carly Beth's Halloween mask? It's so ugly it almost scared her little brother to death. So terrifying that even her friends are totally freaked out by it. It's the best Halloween mask ever. It's everything Carly Beth hoped it would be, and more. Maybe too much more, because Halloween's almost over and Carly Beth's still wearing that special mask. The Haunted Mask is the scariest Goosebumps episode in my opinion, and I've seen them all. If this list was the top 10 scariest episodes, it would be number 1. This episode gave me nightmares for weeks when I first watched it as a kid. Fun fact, R.L. Stine makes a brief cameo in the background when the children are trick-or-treating, so go rewatch the episode and see if you could spot R.L. Stine. This episode was the first episode. It was the one that started it all. I love this episode because it's still scary and I'm an adult. The honorable mentions are The Masked Mutant, The Haunted House Game, Stay Out of the Basement, and The Blob That Ate Everyone. The food isn't great, the counselors are a little strange, and the camp director, Uncle Al, seems sorta demented. Okay, so Billy could handle all that, but then his fellow campers start to disappear. What's going on? Why won't his parents answer his letters? What's lurking out there after dark? Camp Night Moon is turning into Camp Nightmare. For real, and Billy might be next. Welcome to Camp Nightmare is my favorite book and episode in the Goosebumps series. I love camp stories and this one is amazing. If you haven't seen it, I'd highly recommend you go watch it. You won't regret it. Welcome to Camp Nightmare made it to number 1 on my list because I'm a sucker for camp stories. It's very mysterious and the twist ending is great. You guys should really check it out. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you can notice the quality of this video went up. I'm done using Windows Movie Maker and I spent some money to buy some new software and I also got that intro done. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you liked this video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't already and you're subscribed, hit the little bell beside the subscribe button so you get notifications when my videos come out. Look out next week for another video. Alright, see you guys. Goosebumps guy out.